Hey folks, it's old Watachi again. I'm sitting here in a spot that I usually take a break this time of day, and I'm looking around, and there's a couple things I spotted here that kind of got me thinking this morning, and this is why I'm doing this video. I'm going to turn the phone around here and see if I can get you guys to see what I was looking at. But I'm sitting here. I hope you guys can see that flag blowing in the wind there. I'm looking at that and kind of turn my head a little bit. And there's another flag flying right here across the street from me. Now, let me get this phone in here. Okay, that's good. Now, I'm looking at these flags and it just starts rolling through my head. You know, the amount of changes of what that flag stands for compared to today and when I was in school back in the 60s and 70s. Now, back in the 60s and 70s, when I went to school, it was a big thing. Every morning before class started, we'd all stand up, the whole school, in every classroom. There was a flag. We'd all stand up, face the flag, put our hand over our heart, and we would repeat the pledge for that flag in this country. And it went like this, people. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And people, I gotta say, it was something we were all proud of, you know, the American flag, but they ended up using that against us. You know, they tell us the story of the Star Spangled Banner and the guy that wrote the song and the way it happened, and that flag with so many bombs hit it and everything, and after all the fighting, after the smoke cleared, that flag was still flying. There's thousands of things they tell it, and they make us want to be proud of that flag. And with the brainwashing that goes with it, we usually are. But when you look at that flag today, I don't see the same flag. Back when I was a kid, most of the people I went to school with, and I went to a pretty big school in Greenwood, Indiana. And a lot of the kids that we went to school with lived on farms. They grew a lot of corn. Some of them had cattle. Some of them cattle, horses, pigs, chickens, all that shit. But these boys and girls, usually in high school, about the time they got their driver's license, they would be allowed to drive the farm trucks to school. Usually one of the first vehicles they were allowed to drive. One of the old beat up farm trucks, so if they wrecked it, it wasn't hurting nothing. But most of these trucks, I'd probably say all of them, had gun racks in the back window. Had shotguns, rifles. Most of these guys I knew had pistols in the glove box. Guns we saw every day. It wasn't, oh no, there's a kid, there's a gun, somebody's going to die. No, these kids shot these guns all the time. They had them on them. They had them in the truck when they were driving. And guess what, folks? I never in my life, when I was younger, and still even today, have never heard back in that day of one school shooting happen. Didn't happen, people. Wonder why? Because back then, with all those guns, them kids, they lose their minds. and go crazy, run out to the truck, and kill everybody. Never happened. Why is it happening today? Well, if you believe all the stories and you don't believe that any of them is bullshit, then they're using it in order to get rid of our Second Amendment right. But I want to get back to the flag, because I hear so many people and I see so many YouTubes that's got the flag flying behind them in their videos, or they got a flag somewhere hanging just to show they're patriotic. Well, that flag was, what would you call it? Stolen, or just taken after the Civil War by the very people that destroyed our country. It's just like the Southern Cross, people. Everybody thinks the Southern Cross is a Confederate state flag. The Southern Cross was never a Confederate state flag. The Southern Cross has always been and always will be a battle zone flag that they used to signal the troops. It was easily seen. You didn't make a mistake and think the other person's flag was yours and do something stupid. But they didn't have radios to talk to each other back then. I'm sure they used some hand signs, but they was on a battlefield. Usually these signal flags were up on a hill somewhere, and if they waved it in a certain way, it meant to do one thing. If they waved it in a different way, it meant to do something else. But the Southern Cross was hijacked. That's the word I was looking for. By the Aryan Brotherhood, by the KKK, and today is looked at negatively. And I think that was on purpose. Now, with this flag, our Star-Spangled Banner, it used to stand for what? What it said right in the damn flag. See, my mind's going. I'm sitting here, got so many things running through my mind, I can't even think of the words. The anthem for the flag that I just repeated it just a few minutes ago. It said it stood for the Republic. It stood for a God-fearing country. And it stood for people who wanted freedom and rights. Today it don't stand for that, people. Every flag should have a gold trim around it. Because the gold trim around any flag that you see states we are a conquered flag. That is a conquered state. That's why you see these in courtrooms and shit. Because we are a conquered state. The American flag before the Civil War had real meaning. After the Civil War, it has no meaning. They have taken people, you got to understand that the Civil War was one of the worst things that could have ever happened to this country, because neither side won. The North didn't win, the South didn't win. Nobody won. The only people that won was the elitist. And the way they won was they was able to take control of the southern states and put people in there that they wanted in all elected positions so that they could control voting and stuff like that. And one of the things they rushed through was the 16th Amendment, people. It was not fairly done. It was not done in the fashion that our government was supposed to do it. And what it ended up doing, people, is it took all of your property rights away. You cannot, as a citizen of the United States, or the corporation of the United States of America, you cannot own property in this country. I know you guys believe you own your houses. You believe you own your cars. You believe all that, but you don't. They can come and take it anytime they want. And the 16th Amendment gave them that. Then they started, in 1871, they sold us all down the river to the Federal Reserve and turned us, not only us, into corporations. They turned the entire country and the government and everything into a corporation, people. That took away all the control the Constitution had on them. The Constitution does not control them no more because they are not the Republic of the United States of America. They are the corporation of the United States. And you are not a flesh and blood human being. You are a corporation with your name in all capital letters. This is what basically the Civil War did to all of us. It didn't free anybody. It didn't help anybody. All it did was put the chains on all of our arms, our feet, and we became slaves to the Federal Reserve. You can look at it however you want, people. But that American flag, that Star-Spangled Banner, now stands for the corporation of the United States. And they fly that flag in every country that they go in and kill who knows how many hundreds of thousands, millions of people over gold, over control, over power, over oil, over heroin, over anything that they want. They want to come in and take over an area to gain control over it. And they use that flag to do so. And you people all think that flag is representing you. That flag no longer represents you people. This is a democracy, remember. That flag don't represent any of us. It represents the corrupted corporation of the United States. That's it. I don't want to see it no harm, but don't put that thing in my face and claim it's my flag, because it's not anymore. Not unless we can get our country back, but that flag flies for the corporation, not for us. And you guys better understand that. Because when we lost everything, we lost that flag too. We are a conquered state. They are not going to give us back our freedoms and rights. It is not going to happen. Donald Trump is not going to do it. Nobody in Washington, D.C. is going to do it. Until you guys realize that, you're just going to fight amongst yourselves. Just keep fighting amongst yourselves. Be scared of this coronavirus. It's all bullshit in the first place. Let them get you down there and pump you full of them vaccines. Let them do it, folks. Because if you're going to stay numb from the neck up, you're going to need all that poison they're putting in your body. That way it'll keep you nice and numb, and you don't have to worry about facts or the truth or anything. You can just stay numb to the world. Because that's all you're doing, folks. I just told you the truth. How many of you are going to listen to it? May God bless us all, folks, because we're all going to need it. And that includes me right there along with you. So have a good day. Till next time.